So the Professional Enhancement Plan, or the PEP, is the center of our HHS Instructional Plan for this year. Here's an overview of the Instructional Plan. You began by creating your Professional Enhancement Plan using data, qualitative and quantitative data. You then use that to identify a need of an area where you need to enhance your practice, and then you're going to set an objective based upon that need. You'll have opportunities to modify that quarterly. You'll share those ideas with your AP at the beginning of the year. You'll seek out methods and strategies and resources to help you obtain that goal. You'll set a time frame of obtaining that goal, and of course, what is measurable success look like for obtaining that goal. And then you'll share all of this with the professional chat with your admin at the end of the year. So why this instructional plan? Well, the goal, and this is my personal goal for you, and I hope it's your goal, is to increase your team overall score by at least 1 point. So if you're a 4, knock it out and be a 5. If you're a 3, knock it out and be a 4. We have a lot of good teachers in this building. We want to be better teachers on top of what we already do. The PEP is an individual teacher reflection and plan to help each teacher reach that. So let's look at the data that will be used to come up with identifying a need, an area that needs to be enhanced. Student survey, feedback survey last year that was given, teachers created a reflection that's in your teacher folder. The instructional round feedback that you received from peers and myself, the consulting teacher, is also in that folder. And then your team evaluation from last year, but you could even look back the previous year. What were the areas of refinement that showed up on the instructional part of that evaluation? These are all things that you could use, data, qualitative and quantitative, to identify your area you want to focus on. You could also look at things like testing data as well. So now you use that data, you're going to identify that need, and you're going to create an objective or a goal, and you're going to share that with your administrator at the beginning of the year. Identify your need for enhancement, create a measurable goal or an objective, create a time frame for meeting that objective, and then what are those methods and strategies to meet your goal. And what resources might you use to meet that objective. Beginning of the year, once you've put your PEP together and you go in for your pre-conference at the beginning of the year with your AP, take that with you and show them you know what you're talking about when it comes to your own teaching practices and where you want to focus and where you want them to focus when they come and they watch you teach. And then we'll talk more later about the professional chat at the end of the year, but you'll be sharing with them artifacts, professionalism artifacts, your PEP, and so on, to talk about what you did for the year. Showing evidence is vital to this whole thing. So what evidence? Well, you want to show that you have been modifying as needed your objective, your goal. You are wanting to show evidence that you've sought out methods and strategies that will help you, and where you found those methods and strategies. It's the same with the resources, finding resources that will help. Evidence of reflection. You've looked back over your PEP and you've modified it as you needed to do so. We're going to give you 4 times throughout the year to do that. We'll sit down as a content team and do that. So PEP checks, we'll call those, will happen on October 6th, January 2nd, February 19th, and May 11th. Evidence that you found and used new methods and strategies. The biggest part of that will be your peer observations, but of course also any professional development that you have participated in. We'll have 4 peer observation windows for each content department throughout the year, and a debrief meeting during content meetings at the end of those. You'll have 2 observations that you'll do of teachers in the building. One will be assigned to you and one will be your choice. But again, evidence that you are looking at other professionals and trying to learn some new methods and strategies that might help you with your area of need. Resources, there's all kinds of resources. School-wide, we're wanting to focus on 5 areas of the team rubric: standards and objectives, motivating students, questioning, feedback, teacher knowledge of students. We addressed teacher knowledge of students when Ms. Harkreader and Kellogg spoke about the achievement gap. Teacher knowledge of students is not you know their name or you know their family. It's talking about differentiation. You know what they need as a learner, and you provide that for them. So those are the areas that we're looking at as a whole school. So you might want to think about that. And there are a lot of resources that you'll be given. There's also a crosswalk that I've created that connects those areas of the team rubric and crosswalks it with the artisan teacher ideas. And so that should be in your teacher folder. So another thing that's in your teacher folder is I've taken the categories of the student feedback survey: academic rigor, structure, collaboration, scaffolding, command, and social and emotional learning. And I've created a list of resources to help with those areas. So if you found one of those areas to be an area of need last year when you looked at that, then there are resources that you can go to that will help you with that. Looking at the feedback that you receive from this year from your peer instructional rounds, from the instructional rounds where I'll come around as the consulting teacher, maybe feedback that you get from the literacy teacher development specialist, Mr. Ward. All of this is evidence of things you're looking for to improve your practice. You want evidence of what you're doing here in the building. And in your teacher folder, there are forms for you to be able to fill out and provide evidence of your professionalism. There's one for data that you've used throughout the year. There's one for school and community involvement. There's one on leadership, and there's one to document your peer observations. Again, all of those in your teacher folder. And we'll provide time once a quarter, 4 times throughout the year during content planning to update these lists. All right, when? So you've set your objective, your goal. You create a time frame of when and how that measurable success has happened. And again, this can be modified throughout the year as part of your quarterly modification of your PEP. At the end of the year, you want to take all this stuff and share it with your AP at your final professionalism check. So you want to have a copy of your original PEP. You want to have any modified versions of your PEP, and then those professional artifacts that you will have logged in throughout the year on data, school and community involvement, leadership, and peer observations. Providing evidence of the work you do is key because you all do so much. Get credit for it. It will be hard to not go up at least 1 point on your team total score if you have provided this evidence. So many things seem out of our sphere of control as teachers, but these are things you can control and help improve for you and yourself professionally.